Good evening, Metaphysical Masterminds. Tonight's second oral presentation will be on the Divine Command Theory. My name is John Streets. This is Philosophy C101-200, course 50967. It's July 17th, 2019, in Saracoso Community College. Divine Command Theory is an excuse for bad behavior. Is there a God? This is still a question that has not been definitively answered. However, those that subscribe to the Divine Command Theory will proclaim that they live their lives according to the command of God. Kowalski, 2016, page 178. The problem with this way of thinking is that without proof of God's existence, the idea that a person's moral compass is guided by a supernatural force beyond their control provides a scapegoat for those who do bad things. The problem with the Divine Command Theory is that people commit heinous acts, all in the name of God, and presumably per God's command. This phenomenon is very prominent with the Islamic suicide bombers that claim that their God requires the death of all infidels, non-Muslims. In these cases, the act of murdering innocent people may or may not believe in the same God is justified in the bomber's mind because they feel that their act is morally acceptable and that it follows the word of God. If God is omnibenevolent, which would mean that this being is perfectly loving and completely without moral fault or defect, Kowalski, 2016, page 82, how could God command the deaths of innocents, all in the name of Islam? Islam is an Arabic word, which means surrender, submission, commitment, and peace. Thus, Islam can be defined as a path to attain complete peace through voluntary submission to the divine will. Based on this definition, all Muslims subscribe to the Divine Command Theory. However, not all Muslims become terrorists, which would lead one to believe that the Islamic God only tells certain Muslims to kill and not others. This is another issue with the Divine Command Theory. It is ambiguous and not consistent. Islam is not the only religion that has zealots that misinterpret or misrepresent their religious beliefs to murder innocents. This has happened all throughout history. Case in point, the Spanish Inquisition. Recently, there was a case on the Ivory Coast where a serial killer claimed that God told him to behead children, and as a reward, he would be made king. Firma, 2015. There can be no omnibenevolent God that would condone or command the brutal murders of over 20 children. This would lead one to believe, as atheists do, Kowalski, 2016, page 84, that there is no God and these people are just insane and commit crimes because they are deranged or like beasts do, Kowalski, 2016, page 74. That there is a God, but this supreme being is not concerned with earthly affairs and therefore would not guide anyone's moral reasoning. Either way, those that follow the Divine Command Theory thought process take the easy road with their moral reasoning and take no responsibility for their actions, whether good or bad. Ramses, 2013. In conclusion, Divine Command Theory hinges on the assumption that God exists and that this supernatural being is omnipotent and theist. Because none of these things can be proven or tested, this argument is not sound, which proves that the Divine Command Theory cannot be true. Therefore, anyone proclaiming to be acting solely on the command of God is in fact acting of their own volition. You can click on the link to see my YouTube video. Thank you and have a good night.